The school bus rattled down the uneven road as the morning sun cast golden stripes across the dusty windows. A few kids laughed loudly, their voices bouncing through the narrow aisle, while others slumped against their seats, earbuds in, trying to block out the noise. Near the middle, a girl sat quietly, her eyes lowered, her small hands clutching the straps of her worn backpack. She didn't know that today, on this very ride, her silence would be shattered. Because the moment a cruel hand grabbed her neck, squeezing in mock dominance, the entire bus froze. And what none of them knew was that her father, a decorated SWAT officer, was sitting just rows behind, watching every second. What happened next would change every single life on that bus. Her name was Lily, 16 years old, slim, soft-spoken, and always carrying books she borrowed from the local library. She wasn't invisible, not really. People noticed her, but they didn't notice her in the way she wished. To most of the kids on the bus, Lily was the quiet girl, the one who never fought back, never spoke up, and never raised her voice above a whisper. And to a certain group of boys, that made her the perfect target. Every day, they taunted her. They made jokes about her oversized glasses, her second-hand clothes, and the way she stuttered whenever someone suddenly demanded her attention. Sometimes, they tossed her notebooks down the aisle. Sometimes, they blocked her way when she tried to get off. And sometimes they whispered cruel words in her ear as she passed, the kind of words that burrowed into her chest and stayed there all night. Lily's father, David, had recently returned from a grueling mission overseas. A SWAT officer with years of training, he'd faced situations that would break most men, but nothing broke him more than the tired look in his daughter's eyes when she came home from school. He noticed the way she smiled less, how her laughter had disappeared, and how her shoulders seemed to sink under the invisible weight she carried. He asked her many times, "Lily, is someone bothering you?" But she always answered the same way, "No, Dad, I'm fine." She didn't want to worry him, didn't want him to step into her world and make things worse. That morning, however, David decided to ride with her. He'd taken leave from work and disguised himself in plain clothes, just another tired parent hitching a ride. He sat toward the back, his cap pulled low, scanning every detail with the instincts of a man trained to read danger before it unfolded. The bullies didn't notice him at first. They noticed Lily, though, like they always did. One boy, taller than the rest, with a cocky grin plastered across his face, strutted down the aisle. His friends chuckled behind him. He stopped at Lily's seat, blocking the light streaming in through the window. She shrank slightly, pulling her backpack tighter. "Morning, Mouse," he sneered, still too scared to say anything. His friend snickered. He leaned closer. "What if I made you talk?" Before she could react, his hand shot out and wrapped around her neck. Not tightly, but firm enough to make her gasp. Her eyes widened in panic. She froze the same way she always froze, heart hammering in her chest. The bus went quiet, kids whispering, waiting, some amused, some horrified. But David saw everything. His training told him to act fast, but his heart told him to wait. He wanted to see how far they would go, to witness what his daughter had been enduring. His jaw clenched, muscles coiled like a spring. And then it happened. The boy squeezed harder, and Lily's books slipped from her lap, scattering onto the dirty floor. A faint whimper escaped her throat. That sound was enough. David stood. His shadow stretched long down the aisle. The bus driver glanced in the mirror, startled by the sudden movement. The bullies turned, and for the first time, fear flickered in their eyes. "Let go of her." David's voice cut through the bus, low and dangerous. Not loud, but heavy, the kind of voice that made even grown men freeze. The boy released Lily instantly, his hand trembling. But David wasn't finished. He walked slowly down the aisle, every step deliberate. The silence was so deep, the hum of the engine felt deafening. He stopped directly in front of the boy, looking him dead in the eyes. "You think you're tough?" David asked. "You think grabbing a girl by the throat makes you a man?" The boy stammered, words failing him. His friends shrank back, suddenly very small. David bent slightly, close enough that only the boy could hear the steel in his tone. "You just touched my daughter. My daughter. And you did it with me sitting 10 feet away." He paused, letting the weight of his words sink in. "Do you know what I do for a living?" The boy shook his head, barely breathing. "I protect people. I take down men twice your size who think they can hurt the innocent. And right now, you remind me of them." The boy's face drained of color. David straightened, turning to the rest of the bus. This ends today. You hear me? Every single one of you who laughed, who watched, who did nothing. You're part of the problem, but you'll also be part of the solution. Because after today, things will change. My daughter will walk onto this bus with her head held high, and no one will ever put their hands on her again. The bus was silent. The boy lowered his head ashamed. Lily sat frozen, her heart racing, tears brimming in her eyes, not from fear but from something else. Relief. She shaped R2. The bus ride ended in silence. The bullies slunk away, avoiding Lily's gaze. When she stepped off, her father stayed close, his presence steady and unshakable. She whispered, "Dad, you didn't have to." "Yes, I did, David."